Now I'm live. How are you? Good morning, everyone. It's good to see you here. Good morning, Sharon, Carmen, Carol Swisher, Barbara Ward, Carrie the World Traveler, Barbara, Silver 1111, and Yvonne. Hopefully, we're going to have some interesting awakenings today. So, I want you to contemplate for a moment all the different things we've learned about thought, how to work on changing your thought, how important concentration is, and how to even express that thought. Good morning, Karen. So today is going to take us to another level of understanding about that all and begin to really see why it's a remake your life experience. So here we go. We're going to talk about countless cells in your body. And if you think of the Earth, we've all seen that, and that all the planets are swarming all around the Earth. Well, that's what's happening with our cells. And we hope and know with all the good thoughts we've been giving, they're all moving in motion to create life, right? So in the area that's not a cell, there is a liquid energy, but it also permeates our cell life because all of those cells have been given a pattern from the mental part of us, and it's bringing that into the body and out into life. So you need to understand that the mind and the body have a very profound relationship. That old statement, you are what you think, is literally true. So if you've been moving around here thinking thoughts that have all from the childhood or from adolescence or however old you are, it's time to touch those, love them. And the more you do, you're going to see the healthier you're going to get. So each cell has 3 levels of power. It has the mind, the memory, and the consciousness. So let's just think about this for a moment. It has the power of the mind, which is thought and thinking, subconscious. It has the ability to remember, but it is part of the building of your consciousness, all right? It does have a sense of direction, but it builds according to the patterns it's been given. So if you're angry and can't get over being angry, it is building a life, creating situations and reactions about anger. If you are a happy, loving soul, it is creating and developing ways for you to know a deeper happiness and greater love. We have to really acknowledge this power of the mind. And it also then has the power to control our consciousness and where we find ourselves living, and not only within our own bodies, but within as a part of the whole, not only America, but the world. And perhaps it's going to help you have some understanding when you contemplate thinking about yourself. Because each cell reproduces, creates 2, divides by 2. I'm sure you all learned that in biology. So if there's a negative thought, it is developing. Just as we're speaking, all of us, our cells are developing that which we believe in. And whether you want to say, yes, I believe in that, by its existence in you, you believe that and haven't discovered it to be something you need to change. So This is where we discover that the mental part of us has control over the body. I don't know about you, but I'm not sure I'm happy about that. So I want to make really clear what my mental part of me is doing. But we also know that this is why life is always changing. And one way you can begin to change life is if you have a certain way you wake up every morning, then change it. If you have a certain way you go to bed every night, then change it. You can assert changes upon yourself to help uplift that which is the old paradigm. And yes, I can say the word change sometimes disturbs people, but we want to have changes to have a living life, to be like a living plant. Okay? So there are some things we need for this body to survive. And the other thing I'm going to almost forget is that the subconscious mind, which we've talked about, is within the cellular body. So when you do the subconscious work, you are literally healing the cellular part of your body. And then we can think, as we think, so we are, and feel happy about it because we can move it into truth. So to have a healthy cell and a healthy body, it would depend upon the water, the air, and the food, and how you're choosing to allow that waste material to be let go. Well, it's a choice because how are you taking care of yourself? Everyone needs to drink the minimum 2 quarts of water a day, depending on your own density and how you tall and how much you weigh. It may be more for you, but the minimum is 2 quarts a day. 63% of our nutrients is from the air. Now, I would never have thought that. The only thing I can say to you, I recently, because I was having trouble sleeping, and I felt my breath kept waking me up. So I got this little air purifier just to purify the air around where I was sleeping, and now I sleep soundly. So it's saying that the air around me was, I don't know if you've seen one of those breeze meters you get on the weather. It was like over 200. Now it stays at about 16, and I just sleep soundly all night. So these are things we normally wouldn't think of. But air is a huge component in how healthy we are. Just think about it. If you're someone that doesn't breathe completely, are you a short breath? Like people would have before commented to me, oh, you take such a short breath. And you're thinking, well, I'm just living. Well, there's a deep breath that's really cleansing not just your lungs, but your entire body and the thought process. So what you want to do is take a deep breath and let your belly expand. And then let it go. And you want to have a pause between each one. So let's just take a moment and we're going to breathe in, pause, and breathe out. Breathe in, pause, and breathe out. And let there be another pause before you breathe in again. Now, what is it that you feel? I'm sure it's peace and a quieter self. Let's do it one more time. Breathing in, extending your belly, deep into those lower parts of the lung, and out. Pause. Breathe in. Pause. So, yes, one more thing to do. but one more thing that's going to create greater health for you. The air is purifying your blood. That oxygen is surging through you to purify your blood. We're talking about real important things here. The other thing we breathe in when we breathe is that word prana. We've talked about it before in a few places, but it is your life vitality. So when we take that breath, let's just let the thought. So here we're starting to combine what we've learned. Healthy air, healthy body. And we'll breathe that in as we breathe in the thought. Ready? Pause and let it go. And what is the letting go? Easy release. So healthy mind, healthy body, breathe in and release. If you're letting yourself calm down, then you're feeling something different. Would anyone validate for that? Me? Does your birth sign dictate your needs on this earth physically? And you asked that question at 11:11. I'm going to say no. The birth sign is going to have more to do for the higher consciousness of you. And that determines like where you came from and what thoughts from those places you have still within your consciousness. I don't believe it has something to do here on this plane. Late notice? Okay. So Karen Johnson says she's peace and tingly. Carmen's calm. Good. So now you have another tool in your toolbox. Let's just put that in. So when you do find you get upset, you need to sit and begin to just breathe. It's a natural experience that you have within yourself, not only to calm the moment, but to let good oxygen go in through your body and in your cells. The air circulates through your nerve and blood vessels, and it's necessary to have life energy. You know how we talk so much, you hear it everywhere, everyone's tired. Why? We've been in the house and we haven't had to really get out and walk and do things and have our whole system that is encompassed within our body supporting us. We're not needing that air, that movement through the prana. And there's 5 pranas. I know when I've talked about them, it's with the bija. They're all touched by the bija meditation we do. And in that breath releases carbonic acid gas, which is a poison. So if you're someone who isn't able to breathe enough, start as small as you need to. Because what it's going to do is create an unhealthy body. And none of us want that. So when you do it effectively, you will have a body without asthma, without lung disorders, without anything, walking, nothing that can stop you from anything, because your body is going to naturally go into healing itself. For instance, you could say, I breathe deep and effortlessly. I am the breath of God. There's many statements of light and healing you can give yourself about this issue. So Barbara says she's calm and peace. She's been doing it since her angel message yesterday. Very good. Very good. I can see your angel nodding. And Silver says she's feeling relaxed. All right, let's continue. We have our second piece that we kind of just either do or don't do every day, not realizing it's a part of it's a part of our makeup, and it's water. which I already said we need 2 quarts a day, but it creates a chronic nervous disorder. Now, who would have thought that? It allows, if you're not drinking enough, waste backs up in your system and destroys your nerve tissue. So they have had studies done that most people who come to doctors for help are nervous. Didn't say about what. Their nerves have begun to become not healthy. Now, and we could look at someone and all their nerves in their body are fine, but there'll be one place you need to look, and that's down at the base of the brain where the nerve center is, and that's where the distortion is. So if you're someone that gets that headache, right back in here, perhaps. Doesn't mean you have to go to a doctor. It means you need to start breathing and drinking your water. There's so many things that you can do that don't require, once you understand them and own them, that you can help yourself. The water helps strengthen your skin tissue. Getting a bath, even if it's a cool one. If you ever use one of those little scrubbers or a loofah, those help your skin be strong. So how are we remaking your life? In every way we can think about, so that you can choose to live happier and purer in all ways. And lastly, it's going to be, how do you choose food? And I know the world's in a gamut about that. There's this one, there's that one. I could give you my opinion, but what is that? Just seeing if anyone else had written. Usually we are taught in our media world, it has to be look appeasing and tasty. But what about when you look at, what do I have to eat to be healthy? What does healthy mean to you? It's about being nourished. Do you know how many people, just myself and clients, their issue is not feeling nurtured or nourished? And if you go to ask, well, what are you eating? It's very clear. Why? You know, they're eating the Coke off the shelf or the brownies in the bag. That's Barbara saying if she has a headache, she gets rid of it by drinking lots of water. Yeah, it's a sign of dehydration. Most of our foods that we've come to like the taste of are refined and therefore aren't so pure with how they can help our body. So that's why a lot of people go for organic, and it all makes sense. And you also want to eat slowly, and there's one other piece. Let's see who thinks of it. Have good thoughts while you eat. Know that you are eating for health. It was a long time ago when a chiropractor I went to after my accidents, it was about nourishing, eating to nurture myself and nourish my body versus what I wanted to eat. And I'll share that with you because I know today's world is interesting. You know? Do you know that 75% of people in the world today are nervous? I don't know if you would have probably spent time thinking about that, but contemplate it now. Yeah, somewhere there's a shutdown because people are not drinking enough water. Then we could go into the quality of water for sure. You know, I can taste water that has ingredients in it I don't need, but not everybody's that sensitive. And I don't know that you want to be. You just want to know you're drinking good water, because this right here, the body of who you are, is that important and sacred. And it's about the part that you need to change along with thoughts to remake your life, right? All right. So we're basically saying Not only do you need to change the thoughts about your life, we're also saying we need to change your old habits. So where do you think all those habits came from? Yeah, you're right. When you were a little child, how your parents fed you, you became addicted to certain things. Maybe you were rewarded with sweet things, or you just learned to eat mac and cheese. Not that I'm saying it's not bad, but that's another thing that we can look at and see that there's a pattern in that has, on an inner level, we now know it's on an inner level, is building patterns that are creating you to be who you are today. And none of us would be here if we didn't think that we needed help, myself included. There's always more. There's always more healing to do. Let me say hello. I see some different people here. Prime 3, good morning. How are you doing? And Andrea, I'm fine, sending love and spending time and care to the plants in my life, especially in my home. Helps our symbiotic exchange of breaths, including using clean water free of chemicals. Yes, and our habits becomes comfortable and comforting. Did you know that brought up a thought for me? I'll get to it. I'm not going to let Andrea steal my ending, but I'll agree with her in a minute. So let's look at the main things we have here. The brain controls the body. It is composed of cells, and here's the three things. They have memory. They have a power of direction, of movement. Where do they want to go? Now, here's the question. Do you want your mind to be the one who decides that? People I've met are very decisive about where they want to go and where they want to be. So realize the mind is sending to the cells patterns that you may not know and remember. So it's memory, the power of that direction, and obedience. So if you have that streak in you that doesn't want to be obedient, then you need to go in and look at that. So I'm giving everybody a list of patterns here that you might each want to look at, get on, participate. Good morning, Ray. She's watching quietly. Yeah. How often do we all talk about what our body really needs, right? So that was the brain. So the mind directs the brain where it must go. That's what I was saying. To change your life from disease and defeat, or to health, happiness, and success. There's your choice. Which one do you want? And you can look back, and it means nothing if, well, that's what I've been doing. You can start to change it. We've been changing it if you've been listening to this program. And now we're taking it to where it becomes visible. All the rest was with your eyes closed, and we didn't see it. But now we're going to begin to see it and feel it. Because the person who's taking that breath and bringing through a lot of prana, you're going to want to be around them. You're going to want to be a part of whatever that's all about. And it's sometimes how we all get here. We just feel we're all soul family. What has happened? Our prana is all moving. The cells are embracing, and we're touching each other, and we're finding peace. How about that? We want that all our life. And if you don't, that's fine. I do. I want it to be happy, peaceful, and wonderful, no matter where I am. So every thought that man has thought, this is including you and me, it leaves its mark inside you. You know, we have that saying, as you speak, so it moves through the universe. Well, as you think, it's moving through your body. Now, what about that? I'll tell you what happened yesterday. I got a little angry, or maybe a big angry, very unusual. Not only did my computer go blank, my sound blew out. It didn't move for a couple hours. Isn't that interesting? Whew. But I'm glad it's gone. It went out. Yes. Yeah. It was amazing. I said, oh, it went blank. And then I heard it go, doo, 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 doo. And there was nothing. It was dead. But it was plugged in. Okay. So how do we get all those things that have left their mark? And you know the answer is by doing healing and looking within ourselves. But more importantly, you need to know that any chronic disease that you have as you get older stems from one of those marks left by whatever happened before. And there is hope because you can change them and let it become different. Yeah. Do I make it sound easy? Well, it is. Because once you can change the perception of this world, you are here in 101 Classroom Earth, attempting to clear and become whole, and that everything that comes and happens to you, it's a lesson. Yes, I know, I told you I got angry. But I'm learning too. I'm stretching and growing every week. I wouldn't want it to stop. But we have to go back and clear that out to change how we are imprinting our world. Because right now, we want our imprint to help the earth to ascend. It is ascending. We are ascending. And there is a balance we need to come to. So let's think about the people who worry instead of thinking positive, who have a lot of fears. And we've all been there. You are not going to sit there and tell me, oh, I've never worried or I've not been afraid. And maybe you still do. It can be changed. I'm assuring you. It can be changed with love. That's it, the simplest. The greatest magic of God is the love he offers to all of us. And the more we grow, the more of his love comes forward and it touches us and it touches people. And we're not alone. And that's why sometimes group work is very powerful. I know with our bija we do every Friday afternoon. Every week it's getting more powerful because everybody's relaxing more and surrendering more and losing, and I'm going to use the word rigidity, of how to have to be. Now, do you have that? Are there places in your world that you have to be a certain way, that you have a certain costume in the closet that you look for? Oh, this is me today. Afraid of the vulnerability of, what if they see me? All it is a mirror. It really, we all have all things. You know, it's just the truth. In all my years of work, I realized we're all the same. And we're here working to develop this consciousness to once again have the freedom we once knew. So let me see here. Libra lady, I have a steam distiller for water. I make gem water and use Dr. Emoto's water cards with words. The water is soft like silk. The texture is different. Very good. There are people all over the world like that who have found things to make things better for themselves. I have Dr. Emoto's little stickers on a lot of things, balancing the water that's in that container. So I understand. Carmen wants to manifest a new laptop or desktop. You can use the part that was about thought and concentrating on it, feeling it, and bringing it into that feeling level. And you might be surprised how quick that will show up. That's how you do it. So the old saying here is, you want to think and create a picture of what that is and have faith in what you send out as a desire. Oh, for me? No, we're trying to get this. This is a new one. It's a new one that doesn't work well. Um, when you give faith to your desires, it assures a 50% success. So for me, what do? I ask God to be my partner every step of the way. And if I'm going through, actually, God's why I'm here. And He asked me to come here. It wasn't on my plate. But I love it now that I'm here. I love all of you. And who knew? And there's things in that way for you that you don't know yet that God has to share with you. So see, you made me cry. Oh dear. Thought held clearly in the mind, undisturbed, sent forth, will manifest. Think of that. Can you imagine when we started this course, there was, what do you want to be? How do you want it to be? And we're getting close to, can you start the mental picture now? What would you want to be different about you? Remake your life. How? How you feel? A distorted energy in one of your organs or somewhere in your body? Or friends or family or a partner? There's so many ways you can change your life. But I'm here to tell you, with desire and the use of what's right here inside your being, you can do it. I have no doubt. And that is my level of faith. And maybe that's the peace in your relationship with God that you need to discover. Remember that your body responds to healthy thoughts. You want to think health and concentrate on love. Do you remember our week that we did concentration? You want to focus on it. Bring it feelings. See the image of yourself and love yourself. Where do you love yourself? You're going to think it's funny. In the back of the back chakra, right where that spot is. Now, don't you think that's interesting? The back of the throat chakra is loving yourself, increasing your self-acceptance, and where you can create success or failure. And you must change it to just every day you do the best you can. Now, right above that is your zeal point. And I'm finding that not everybody understands the zeal point, but it is the back of the third eye. It is the manifestation chakra, but it will become the most valuable chakra in your whole system. It is where telepathy will grow and have your connection once again to the universe. But where we're at right now, we need to know it's manifesting. What do you want to manifest? How do you want to manifest you? We've learned so many pieces, and you've probably taken notes. You need to go back and go over them. Go back and listen to some of them. How do I do that? Do I remember? Can I do it now? And today was about breath and drinking more water and eating more food. And I have to give a pun because it so changed my life. And I'm going to thank Yvonne and my chiropractor, Charlie, because the McDougall way of eating, I've only been doing it 4 days, Theophilus and me. And we're different people. You do not eat meat or oil, no butter. I just can't tell you. It's like night and day. So, may not work for you. It's a lot of vegetables. But you can't have whole wheat. Things that we haven't been able to eat for years because we were told that wasn't good. It's now changing how we feel. And I thought I felt pretty good. So I made my pun. There you go. Maybe it's another. See, I've been working on changing my life. Are you working on changing your life? It could be that simple. Because one whole piece today was about what are you putting in. So what I have for breakfast? Oatmeal, blueberries. I'm going to have a nectarine before lunch, a salad for lunch. And I was raised eating baked potatoes. For 10 years, I was a vegan and had baked potatoes, and now I can eat it again. It's wonderful. There's a satisfaction deep inside you when you're giving yourself what it is you truly need. And we know the words love. And how does that look when you go to take care of yourself? For each of us, it's different. Yvonne says, yay, eat plants. Yeah, I am shocked. I talked to my naturopath. She said, yep, start it now. Start before you go on the retreat. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. She's just do it. Yeah. Well, so now it's here and it's done. And Yvonne and I and Carrie will all be eating the same way. Yes, about changing my thoughts and perspectives. Good. GGB, yes. Excellent. So what are you all thinking now? We're not done. There's some more yet to keep working with this with the body, but I thought that today's lesson was about it not being so far away. Thoughts, we don't think of them as being things. But I think today it brought you into, wow, what I thought this morning is me. So I had those blueberries this morning. They're very plump and tasty and giving me everything they had. So it made me want to give the world everything I had. It's just when you think and know that what you get back from those thoughts, it makes a difference. You are what you think. So, yes, I guess you're all still here. What questions do you have? Are you excited as I am? Yeah. Prana is moving. There is no doubt. Prana is moving. Here's Andre. TheoSophia, you have a beautiful glow. Thank you. I worked hard for it. Just like you're all working hard for it. It just increases and increases. And mine reaches out very far. So let's see if I've missed anything else. Yeah. Rhonda says, good morning. I stay away from dairy and gluten. Yeah. But we couldn't believe the difference in eating meat. We've slept. We actually fall asleep at 9:30. We're sitting there. We just wake up later and we're like, we just went to sleep. We don't know why it happens. I've had an issue since I crushed my wrist of sleeping. It is now gone in 4 days. Every night I've had a full night's rest. I know I must look different. Yeah, it's amazing. Oh, gosh. Has anyone else but Yvonne and a few of us tried here's still room for more people to attend Mount Shasta retreat for 6 glorious days with it. Yep, we still got spots. We're going. It's going to be powerful. The more we contemplate it, the more we remember. We go to this pyramid. We haven't heard back from him, I'll be honest, because we haven't talked to him with all the pandemic. But they were given guidance to build this pyramid. It's how big of a room is it? 30-foot square? And you go down, just like if you were in Egypt. You go down, and then you climb up into the room, and you're not allowed any metal. Not anything that would interfere with the energy. and it is a manifesting pyramid. Now you got to know, when we were there 2 months at a time in the summer, we'd go and wake up first thing in the morning, go every morning for about an hour or two. Yeah, so here we are. But it was powerful, and we'd always take our groups in, and it's just a life-changing experience, this energy that's formulated itself within this pyramid. So that's just, we're hoping that they're still working, and we haven't heard back. Doug will call again today. We go to falls where the temples of the Lemurians and the Telosians are. We have seen Telosians there. They usually show up down at the park, which is where the only conscious alive water pours out of Mount Shasta Mountain. It's 5,000 years old, and Mother sits right there in this little collective area watching over it. It's very profound. People lay down in the water, and they started to not want them to do it so near, because people come from Oregon and all over with big gallon jugs to get that water out of the mountain. So it's a powerful place. It's just a lot. So there's a place where it is fairyland. We are of the age, and we've never went down there, but we met people who did. And it's the big pool of water and the falls and swimming. And when something's just so rich of being alive, apparently that's what it's like. We know more where it is than that we've been there. So certainly we're going to do a lot of talking about, because in Shasta, it's fifth dimensional energy, and you're just surrendered. And someone who comes who's not will. And you take that home and hopefully maintain it for a while, of how different you perceive the world and how different things are now important. Yeah. Ray, I understand. Her food journey has been, oops, I lost you, it jumped. Been long and tasty and painful. Yeah. I'm just saying, try it. What can we do but do our best, right? There's no set program. It is for you to do the give and take and to figure out what works best for you. Yes. Wow. I would love to be on next year's trip. Well, we're going to figure out when we're doing that while we're there. And it should be a really powerful trip, because we want to work with energy with the fires and all that, so that they're not there when we go. All right. But if anyone still wants to sign up, just give me an email. That's all going to be here or on my community page. Now, Sunday, we have our second Ascension Day. We finally got our Ascension from before back up. So you can go to my videos and see the first Ascension meeting we had without the initiation. So that's up. The last thing I do will be Sunday's Ascension Day. And then I won't be back all next week. What I'm going to be doing, instead of like the Angel Day or whatever, I'm going to send you videos of some of these places. So you can get the feeling and maybe have a few people talk about how they're feeling. Okay. So you can watch on my, I don't know how I'm going to do that, if I'll do it in Zoom and send it, or if I'll do it on a YouTube live. I don't know. That's what you do, is when you're in Shasta, you just don't know. It just happens. You live in the moment. So that's true, Barbara Ward. Yeah. Being there is another whole cup of tea. And everybody's lovely. How many places you go in the world where everyone's just happy? That's what we were taken by. The food's good because you're so happy and just everything's wonderful. So both the angel days and the remaker days are going to be held off until September because we don't get back till 31st. And I'm not going to do anything on that Wednesday. I need a day to figure out who I am again. My son always would say, Mom, I got a mother that never knows who she is for sure. And I'd always say, the one thing I know is I'm filled with love. So, but that was his major complaint. He went through the process of my name changing. And, who are you, Mom? I'm your mother. Well, who is that? I talked to my grandson the other day, and he made one of those little caricatures of me, and he had longer hair, and he had my whoop-de-doo of my. He says, "This is your whoop-de-doo." I said, "Yeah, but that's not how I look now. This is my yaya. I don't know who you are." I couldn't believe it came out of his mouth. I said, "Well, I'm right here." No, she looks like this. So, changing your life is. What if you could do it every day, and keep becoming more and more and more of that part of you that's in the back of your second chakra where you're becoming exist. You can get to where you can actually see him or her there in the back of your second chakra, and that's who you truly are. It's right there. All right, any other comments or questions? I don't want to keep you going, but see, here we are again. Just I'm rattling and you're listening. Yeah. Don't forget to practice the breath. It's so important. You know, when I was in a recovery from my wrist, that was a big thing for me is to, I think mine went down to 80 something. They gauge how your breath is. So no wonder I wasn't feeling good. I wasn't having any oxygen in my system. So it's not that I'm not and haven't gone through things you're all going through. I have. But in understanding to look at it differently and not make it separate me and walk with God as I did it, it's been the biggest blessing that I've had. I've had great teachers. And the masters, I have two that are sent to me from God that are working with me, with all of you. And I get a lot of head nodding. And then I'll sit and talk with them here and there. But yeah, who knows where any of us are all going. We're going into the light. It's all the truth I know. And from what I've seen from people and masters I've met, yeah, that's where I want to be. It's a shame not to judge it, but the world is growing. It's attempting to. And I can only send my light and embrace the souls who apparently have chosen that in their life. You have to remember, and it's not a cop out. We all choose what our life is because what we've learned is it is what you think. So if we can only say to all of them, you are the love you're looking for, which is, I know you've heard it, it's nothing I invented. There is peace inside you. If you cannot find it inside you, you cannot see it outside of you. And perhaps today you understand that more than ever. Peace here creates peace in the whole experience because as you think peace, it makes my body tingle. And I remember the wholeness of me. and that it's there. All right, so everyone saying hi. Well, thank you so much, Barbara Ward. That, again, is going to make me cry. It's just my natural reaction is my eyes leak. Things mean so much as your heart grows and it keeps growing. And one little thing here. Don't you love Carrie World's new name? I love it. The World Traveler. Yep, she's going to be there. Yep. Okay. I see no questions for me, so I'm going to let you all go. No, we're going to think of you every day and wish that you were all with us. And know that we'll be eating well, good for our soul, because it will have a greater ability to radiate from within us all as it is nurtured, and we have breath and we have water and all those good things. Sharon, you were first here today, and here you still are. Thank you, Libra lady. Good morning, Marby. I don't think I saw you. I want to mention that you use the word Bagley. Okay, Bagley. I don't know what that means, but I'm glad if it worked good for you. It's time to clear it all out. And I know what I'm forgetting. Thank you for reminding me, Spirit. I've had 2 donations. We want to give thanks to Pam Long and to Carol Swisher. It all means so much to me, and I so deeply appreciate it from the depth of my heart. So if anyone else would like to donate, it's on my, after the little video, I use my merchant one that is where I run my things through. So Square, I'm sure you've all heard of it. And yeah, I think the angel made a joke. Maybe, I don't know. So, big thank yous. Love you all. And I will be here in about a week and a half. How's that? I'll post in my community when the next things will be. Thank you. Hopefully see you Sunday. Bye-bye.